Hello, good evening, and welcome to another wonderful edition of Eye on Port, coming to you live from the studios. And the purpose, as we have always been saying, to bring you this program from the studio is to allow your participation, for you to also join the conversation, share with us your thoughts. If you're enjoying using the ports of Ghana, you share with us. If you have queries, if you have issues you want to raise, you can also share with us, understanding the issues from those who really run the affairs of that industry. Folks, this week we have a very important assignment, because the entire week is dedicated to celebrating the World Maritime industry. So World Maritime Organization is celebrating the World Maritime Week, and then the focus is going to be on women. There's going to be a lot of talks about how we can promote women participation in the maritime industry. So we're going to discuss that extensively, and we have the best minds again, as I always try to do, to bring you this particular conversation. So if you know anyone, a lady in particular who is interested in the maritime business, is interested in the port business and all of that, please call them and let them tune in, because today they should be getting all the answers that they have been looking for. In the meantime, quite a number of stories are running around the port industry. The Ghana Maritime Authority has held a very important seminar. Also, the Ghana Shippers Authority has equally partnered the Ghana Maritime Authority to hold another important workshop. All of that put together. Take a listen, and then we'll come back.
The Ghana Maritime Authority, in collaboration with the International Maritime Organization, has organized a 5-day workshop on the implementation of the ISPS code. The International Ship and Port Facility Security Code is a comprehensive set of measurements by the IMO for international security, by prescribing responsibilities to government authority, port authorities, shipping companies, and seafarers. After the September 11 terrorism attack on the USA, the IMO decided to set up mitigating conventions to deter the usage of ships as channels for terrorism, which brought about the ISPS code. Stakeholder organizations in Ghana's maritime industry that had their personnel trained at the workshop include the Ghana Maritime Authority, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Port Railways and Marine Units of the Ghana Police, the Tema Shipyard, and Talu Ghana. The Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority encouraged the beneficiaries of the workshop to take full advantage of the expert education given them to enhance their capacities in implementing the ISPS code.
I am reliably informed that the IMO has assembled resource persons who are experts in this field to ensure the success of this workshop. We are therefore privileged once again to have this opportunity to benefit from a team of highly qualified experts.
According to Murad Gobel, Technical Officer, Maritime Safety Division of the International Maritime Organization, the IMO, in accordance with assisting member countries to be well equipped to enforce the ISPS, trained participants on how to perform port security assessments, how to self-audit, and how to approve port facility security plans. He said, with an increase in global cyber security threats and drug trafficking, the IMO does not like member countries to rest on their laurels, but instead keep enhancing their methods to prevent such maritime-related crimes.
Ghana is complying, but I told you we would like to enhance the security measure, since that there is some new threats appears, such as the cyber security, such as the use of drones. So what we need to update our security plans in Ghana and to address those new threats.
Nana Boachi Bwampong, Senior Maritime Administration Officer at the Ghana Maritime Authority, explained that these port security enhancement programs are essential to trade as it continues to place Ghana in good stead to attract vessels. An unsafe port, according to the GMA official, leads to higher freight rates.
If your port is not safe, you don't attract ships. If a port is not safe, you have higher premiums on insurance, and so if we are not able to keep our ports safe, we're going to pay, our freight rates are going to go higher, and would even have a toll on the whole national security of the nation, because economy is dependent largely on imports.
The Ghana Maritime Authority, in collaboration with the Ghana Shippers Authority, in line with their campaign to bring awareness on the 2020 IMO sulfur cap policy to all stakeholders within the shipping value chain, have met with the technical players in the port and maritime industry who would play significant roles in the implementation of the global policy in a seminar. The seminar sought to sensitize stakeholders in the maritime industry about the guidelines on the implementation of the 2020 sulfur cap to improve energy efficiency and promote clearer marine environment. Stakeholders present included the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the National Petroleum Authority, shipping lines, oil distributors, and refineries. The International Maritime Organization requires all fuel-emitting machines, including cargo vessels, from January 2020 to strictly comply with a 0.50 sulfur limit in their use of fuel as a global environmental conservation measure. The Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Thomas Kofi Alonsi, said his outfit will continue to enforce the compliance of such conventions through flag state and port state control measures.
The implementation is the remit and responsibility of the Ghana Maritime Authority. The authority therefore has the responsibility to enforce compliance through flag state and port state implementations.
He charged other players in the shipping sector to gear themselves up and with urgency in order to play their role in the implementation of the IMO sulfur cap policy.
Our partners in the maritime industry, bankers, suppliers, ship owners and operators will be convinced of the urgency and necessity to comply accordingly with the IMO 2020 sulfur cap requirements to address these global environmental concerns.
The GMA boss, who described the global sulfur cap policy as very achievable, revealed that fuel oil manufacturers have already started to make adequate provisions to ships to ensure compliance to the legally binding IMO policy. Benonita Bismarck, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, said, although the cost of implementation would be borne by shippers globally, the level of awareness and understanding of the policy is unacceptably low, and that her outfit is committed to bring the needed information on the policy to exporters and importers.
The clock is ticking on the IMO 2020 sulfur regulation deadline, and yet much work remains to be done. It is in this respect that these seminar series have been organized to help bring sufficient clarity to all stakeholders.
Captain Inusa Abdul Nasir said a technical as well as a regulatory subcommittee has been set up which will make sure Ghana is prepared to ensure the IMO regulation is adhered to by all vessels that ply its territory. He also called for the National Petroleum Authority to be prepared to collaborate with the GMA to ensure quality standards.
And quality, as I said, falls within the remit of the NPA. So me, from the Ghana Maritime Authority, I take fuel. I will not know the quantity, the quality of, or maybe the constituents. So we're working together to get these gadgets so that we will carry them along and do our inspection.
Fred Asiedu Date, Head of Freight and Logistics at the Ghana Shippers Authority, assured that his outfit would ensure shippers are not unduly burdened by shipping lines due to the cost of the sulfur cap compliance.
The assurance we're giving shippers is that to the best of our ability, the Ghana Shippers Authority would ensure that fair rates are applied on our routes.
The Ghana Shippers Authority has assembled relevant stakeholders in the export value chain to discuss certain inefficiencies in Ghana's exports trade and probable ways of creating solutions in order to achieve the significant improvement the nation seeks in its exports. This comes at the back of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority launching its report on the non-traditional export statistics of 2018, which revealed a 10.05% improvement in the general performance of non-traditional exports from $2.446 billion in 2017 to $2.813 billion in 2018. Sylvia Asana Owu, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Shippers Authority, on behalf of the CEO, Benonita Bismarck, said there is room for improvement in the exports business, although an appreciable surge has been recorded. She said her outfit, in keeping with its mandate, will ensure an enabling environment is created to bring ease to shippers in the exports business. She mentioned that the Boankra Inland Port, as well as warehouses in Tema, are examples of the Shippers Authority's contribution to facilitate export logistics in Ghana.
In the area of infrastructure, the authority has projects such as the warehouses in Tema and others at various stages of development intended to aid in the facilitation of transport logistics in both the export and import value chain. The Boankra Inland Port, for example, will link the ports of Tema and Takoradi to the inner parts of the country.
Maxwell Kusi, Director of Research at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, revealed that bad roads, as well as re-emerged police barriers on the road transport corridors, have served as stumbling blocks to an efficient export of goods by road.
The checkpoint reduced to the barest minimum, but after a while we found out that it started emerging. Then unprofessional bumps or speed bumps is also an issue which it delays the shippers. At the same time, it affects the quality of the product at the end of it.
He also asked that in reacting to tighter international market requirements on health and safety, Ghana should commit to use secure and sanitized vehicles that may not cause contaminations to food products for exports.
And so we've been receiving a lot of reports from especially from the US, what contaminations that or the alerts that we get from these things. So shippers and transporters, can we be assured that this truck specifically has been designed for this kind of product?
Peter Harms, Commercial Manager of Air Ghana, a cargo services provider at Ghana's airport, attributed the lower volumes of export cargo to the ban on some vegetables, which has caused airlines to deploy transit methods more often.
There was a time when we used to fly perishables into the UK, direct in, Cargolux would fly direct into Stansted, 6 hours. Volumes were a lot higher in those days. One of the challenges we've got is that the volumes, especially since the ban of vegetables, the volumes have not been large enough.
Chris Goodser, Country Manager of Swissport International, a provider of cargo handling services to the aviation industry in Ghana, said delays and inconsistencies from government agencies at the airport contribute to the cumbersomeness experienced in the export flow.
Delay in documentations when we get it from the IDGs, either via customs process, NACO process, or any of the agencies involved, which delays again the screening process, and that in turn will delay the build-up, which again delays the cargo reaching to the aircraft, and the aircraft unfortunately gets delayed, and we are severely penalized for it.
William Lamte, Plant Protection and Regulatory Services Directorate, said his organization has introduced interventions to mitigate Ghana's export phytosanitary issues.
And really, as a country, from that time, we, together with stakeholders, were able to, put in all the necessary interventions that are required for us to be able to fulfill the recommendations from the EU audits that were in the country.
Some exporters present leveled some complaints against regulatory agencies, especially the PPRSD, who, according to the exporters, are under-equipped to perform their mandate and create inefficiencies in the export chain.
They said the incubation will take them 10 good days. After that, they'll give you a certificate, which means your report is good, your produce is good for export. And then, when you send the produce to airport, they will come again and pick 20% of whatever you send. And that 20% will take them almost 2 hours.
Sometimes PPRG will certify your cargo, you send it to Europe, and the whole articulator, 40-footer rejected.
So the Ghana Shippers Authority as well as the Maritime Authority, they have been very, very busy doing lots of engagement there. And as you may have heard in that story, the Sulphur Cup is there, export as well, and all of that. Our sponsor, Ghana Oil or GOIL Company Limited, I always forget and go back to their old name, GOIL Company Limited. They have been doing a lot of work as well, opening a lot of branches around. This time around, they had a fresh one around Hacho. And I always say that if you don't buy from GOIL, then I don't know where you buy from. Take a listen.
The leading oil marketing company in the country, GOIL Ghana Limited, continues to expand nationwide to meet the quality fuel needs of Ghanaians. As an indigenous oil marketing company in the country, with the nation's welfare at heart, GOIL has strived in recent years to be the leader in the oil marketing business, not only to retain revenue for Ghana, but also to stabilize oil prices to stay within the means of the average Ghanaian. In line with this, GOIL has officially commissioned a new service station at Hacho in the Greater Accra region, bringing the total number of service stations across the country to over 380. The dealer of the Hacho service station, Rebecca Vanderpoy, said the outfit is poised to give motorists a satisfactory buying experience and encourage Ghanaians who ply the Hacho catchment area to choose the GOIL station.
We will do our best to contribute our quota to uphold the image of GOIL as a preferred brand among drivers. We count on your patronage of our station to help us grow. Invite one, invite all to buy from us.
She expressed GOIL's commitment to deploying international safety measures at every point of operation.
When the product arrives at the station, the safety measures that are taken is that we put fire extinguishers around, and before the product is distributed into the underground tank, we also make sure that there are no vehicles around that are being served with fuel.
The Southern Zonal Manager of GOIL, Michael Lagley, said customers of GOIL should be rest assured that Ghana's leading oil marketing company will not compromise but give them quality service.
I want to assure our customers that any time, especially those applying Hacho Atomic Junction Corridor, that any time they drive into this station to purchase any item, be it fuel or lubricant, they should be assured that they will get value for money.
He advised customers to patronize the fuel van whenever they are in doubt of the quality of fuel that has been served them.
Customers should be assured we have our quality van on standby 24/7. Anytime they have any doubt about the quality of fuel that they purchase, the van will be at hand to settle that confusion.
Free fuel as well as some GOIL souvenirs were awarded to customers present at the commissioning of the station.
So GOIL continues to do wonders, and we will continue to wish the folks at GOIL very well. Somewhere around last year, they had about 300 stations. Now you see more of them are coming up. So continue to purchase GOIL. And they also sponsor us, so why not? Continue to enjoy GOIL. We'll return after the break, and when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the role of women within the maritime space. It's important that you see some of the very remarkable work that women are playing within this industry. Now you get there, you see a lot of busy stuff going on, cranes and vessels and huge stuff. Yet these women are braving the odds and doing remarkably well. It's important that we celebrate them and also get you to know how you can get in if you're a lady and you're looking for the opportunity to also get in, and how we can sustain the role of women within the industry. As I talk about the role of women, there is a particular woman who always watches this program, and I recognize her text messages all the time. Madam Faustina Nelson, formerly board chair of GOIL as well, and then also being a state lady within this country. She's done remarkably well. Continue to watch the program, madam. We'll return after the break.
Here's innovation from GOIL that takes you further. New New Gold Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes have been expertly crafted with the latest in liquid engineering technology, highly advanced for modern engines, prolongs oil change intervals, save you fuel, clean, protect, and enhance engine performance. The way engines work has become complex, and GOIL has innovated to stay ahead. Expertly crafted lubricants that work excellently with all petrol and diesel engines of today. New GOIL Super Synthetic 5W20 and 5W30 lubes. Innovation that takes you further. GOIL. Good energy.
Dear valued client, the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is now live to make it easy to track your consignment and know the estimated duty payable for both general goods and used vehicles. We are pleased to inform you that the Ghana Trade Hub mobile app is available for download on Google Play Store for Android users and the App Store for Apple users. This is the best opportunity for all importers and exporters to know the duty payable on every good under transaction. You can reach the team for inquiries and support by calling +233 242 435 663. Send an email to support@ghanastradinghub.com. To remain updated, kindly follow progress on the following platforms: www.facebook.com/Ghana Trade Hub, www.twitter.com/Ghana Trade Hub, and ghlinkedin.com/in/Ghana Trade Hub. Importers and exporters can download the official Ghana Single Window mobile app, which allows you to track your consignment conveniently and also allows you to obtain your estimated duty for general goods and used vehicles. Please spread the message to everyone importing or exporting. The Ghana Trading Hub mobile app is now live. Download and never be cheated. This is powered by the Smart Ports project under the auspices of the Government of Ghana and the Ghana Revenue Authority. Smart Port, improving Ghana's ease of doing business.
Utiliser les ports de Tema et de Takoradi, c'est avoir un traitement rapide et sécurisé de vos marchandises diverses en conteneurs, en sac ou en vrac, ainsi que tous vos véhicules en transit. Le Ghana a construit un parking bien pavé pour tous les véhicules en transit. Une nouvelle gare frigorifique pour le stockage de la marchandise congelée en transit. Avec un nouveau centre de traitement de données construit et la mise en œuvre efficace d'un guichet unique national qui permet aux données d'être accessibles par tous les intervenants, le traitement des dossiers dans les ports du Ghana est maintenant efficace et plus efficient. Utiliser les ports du Ghana, c'est profiter des systèmes de portes électroniques et d'exploitation des terminaux, ainsi que de la réservation des navires en ligne, entraînant ainsi un parc de camions fiable pour un acheminement de vos marchandises dans les brefs délais avec un suivi satellitaire jusqu'à nos frontières. Les femmes, à vous les honneurs. Les ports de Tema et de Takoradi célèbrent la femme. Que les bienfaits de cette célébration apportent plus de bénédictions.
Fraud alert. GPHA does not auction. Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority wishes to inform the general public that the authority does not buy and sell on internet platforms and does not auction cars and other items in and around the port. Beware of fraudsters who claim to auction cars and other items in the ports and defraud people in the process. For further information, contact tema@ghanaports.net or call +233 303 202 758. Beware of fraudsters.
So women are playing significant roles around the port industry, ensuring that that particular line of economy grows very, very well, and we call it the blue economy. These women, day by day, are doing their bit in their own corner, in their respective operational areas, and helping to make this business happen. Today, we're going to talk about the role of women within this industry and how you can, if you are interested, you can also be part of this particular industry. And I have to let you know the guests that I have in the studio, as I announced earlier. These are the best brains, among the best brains that we have within the country, doing wonderfully well. You know, they cut across, some in academia, some also in operations, some also in training and all of that. So first is Madame Esther Jebidonko, General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Affairs, Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Always smiling, and she wants me to allow her to finish smiling and laughing before we go. not. Also in the studio is Madam Sylvia Sana Dauda, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Ghana Shippers Authority, President of WIMORCA as well. Madam Sana, good to see you. Also, Madam Felicity Yankomase, Dean of Faculty of Maritime Studies, Regional Maritime University. Madam, also pleasure to see you. Quite a number of the freight forwarders are saying that you taught them in school and it's very difficult to earn your mark. One of them is Johnny. He just sent a message that my boss is in your studio. Very difficult to earn your mark. So these women are doing wonderfully well within the industry. And then we'll be listening to you as well if you're interested in learning about the industry and how women can, play a significant role and grow this particular industry. The World Maritime Organization has dedicated the entire Maritime Week for it. Earlier, sometime back, about a month ago, a young lady who is focusing her reporting on port journalism did a very wonderful story about some of the women who are doing wonderfully well within the industry. I want us to listen to that, and then we'll come back, listen to the IMO Secretary General when he arrived in Ghana as well, and then we'll start our conversation. Listen.
It's 7 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Hello and welcome to News 360 from the News Hub here in Accra. I am Issa Moni.
And I am Portia Gab. In our first story, throughout history, it has always been a man's world, but now the male-dominated maritime industry is seeing vociferous women.
And my first port of call was the Regional Maritime University, the premier school in West Africa, established by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, which trains professionals in the industry. Here, the picture was more glaring. Enrollment for women has not been encouraging over the past years. For 2016-2017 academic year, 5 females enrolled in marine engineering against 93 males. 2 females were in nautical science class against 40 male. A 32 enrolled in port and shipping against 150 males, whilst 12 females also went in for logistic management against 35 males. For 2017 and 2018 academic year, there were 6 females against 104 males in marine engineering, whilst there was no female that year for the nautical science against 49 males. 74 females enrolled in port and shipping against 127 males, while 14 females were in logistic management class against 59 males. Priscilla Edem is an old student.
When I came subsequently, there were a lot of guys in the class. The number was huge. I think we were about 6 girls out of 100 and something in class. When you're answering questions or you want to ask questions, like the case, there are a lot of guys and you, a lady, want to stand up to speak. Sometimes you can be intimidated by that.
So why don't we have more women in this industry?
Much people have not heard about the maritime industry. It's still unknown, not discovered. The previous idea that the maritime industry was meant for men is also something. Now comes to the idea, our tradition that this is men's job. A woman, you want to go and do it. And so some parents are scared.
Merchant Navy Captain Hannah Agri made history to become the first woman maritime educator in the world. She has since been teaching at the Regional Maritime University after retiring from sea.
When you come in, it's not an easy job. you need to put in your marks so as to make it.
Meet Esther Jebidonko, the first woman terminal manager in Ghana with over 25 years' experience in the maritime trade. Esther was the head for 3 terminals, Transit, Refa and the Golden Jubilee Terminal at the Tema Port, which was a man's job.
It was a tough area. I recall when I was sent to Terminal 1 and I had to be the terminal manager, I had to go on the vessels and all that because we have to handle stevedoring and all that. You know, the stevedores, it was something else to them, and they look at me and they're like, oh.
So, how does she manage to cope with her family life and work?
It's so time consuming. I have sometimes, when I was the Terminal 1 manager, sometimes I have to come to the port in the night. When I was at Golden Jubilee, sometimes I have to come to the port in the night. My family were so supportive and they still are.
Now she has risen to the position of the General Manager of the Corporate Affairs of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, earning several awards and laurels through her hard work.
What men can do, women can do. This issue of the women issue, I'm going to attend to my children. And so you leave office hours, you are unable to complete your assignments and things. I think it's a thing of the past. We should live beyond that.
Na Densua Aite is another woman making great strides on the international maritime scene. Na has refused to be bound by societal norms and charted an independent course.
At the beginning, it was like they were skeptical. Can she do it? But having worked with me, they realized that no, if she sets her mind to doing it, she's going to do it. And gradually, they came to accept the fact. So the skepticism just went off, and the confidence actually grew.
Na says women must fearlessly sail beyond the horizon. Her joy was to see more women, compelling her to fight and secure more networks, to mentor and promote women to bridge the gap.
Nobody will advertise for you. Nobody will show you off. But when your work is accepted and you are able to push through, you become visible and you'll be able to take on any other job that is brought before you.
Similarly, Kate McHugh also made history to become the first American woman to captain the mega cruise ship. International agencies and local women groups, including the International Maritime Organization, IMO, WISTA and WIMA, are pushing to get more women involvement in the industry. But how far can they work to bridge the gap?
So, as you saw in that piece, there are quite a number of ladies are doing very, very well within this industry, and that's why the World Maritime Organization has dedicated the entire week for the women, the role women play within the industry. We're going to listen to what the World Maritime Organization is hoping to achieve with this shortly. First of all, it's a pleasure to see you and have you in Ghana. What motivated this visit?
I'm here to attend the conference on women in development in maritime sector. So I had a very good outcome and a very good impression from the conference about women's activities in maritime industry.
What sort of interest has the IMO taken in women within the maritime?
Because nowadays, you know, there is a dramatic the change in terms of, thanks to the technological development, like we are moving like a physical power to digital power. So when it comes to digital power, it is more access to women to engage in the maritime sectors. So with that in mind, we are promoting the women in development in the maritime sectors, engagement in maritime sectors, and we are developing awareness of women development in maritime sectors and to the private and public sector as well. So there is a growing development of that initiative.
And in Ghana and Africa, we have quite a number of ladies who are within the industry, do it very well. What's the incentive that's out there coming from IMO for ladies?
I had a very good impression yesterday from women from Ghana mainly, and some from neighboring countries in the African continent. They were believed very enthusiastic and motivated to contribute to the maritime industry. With respect to the IMO engagement, IMO is, first of all, we are trying to promote and raise awareness of the women's activities participating in maritime sectors. So by means of different strategy, we are advertising. Second one, we are trying to provide more opportunity, training for women in maritime sectors, like World Maritime University and International Maritime Law Institute, other short period of courses. So we are providing more opportunity to ladies and female delegates or government officials from private sector as well. And third one, we are holding different kind of activities like a conference or some the stakeholders dialogue, like providing the more job, the opportunity to women's, in maritime sectors. So we are implementing different kind of activities, and also we are holding different kind of diplomatic activities, conference, seminar. This is taking place.
Okay. And beyond the agenda of women, what sort of other policies is coming from the IMO that those in the industry, Ghana and Africa, should be aware? Because I understand that you have this exchange of data electronically policy that's coming up and all of that.
The main function of IMO is producing a universal platform for shipping maritime business by adopting, implementing global regulation for safety and environment protection and for efficiency of shipping. So that is a main function. So we see great potential of Ghana in terms of development of maritime industry and activities. So we are collaborating.
Tradition runs long and deep. However, the International Maritime Organization, IMO, believes that to enable women to train alongside men in their maritime institutes and to acquire the high level of competence that the maritime industry demands. In line with this, the IMO has dedicated the 2019 World Maritime Day to empower women in the maritime community to provide an opportunity to raise awareness of the importance of gender equality in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and to highlight the important yet underutilized contribution of women within the maritime sector. Here in Ghana, several women are playing key roles in the maritime industry and rubbing shoulders with their male counterparts to grow the maritime industry. Several women groups have also contributed immensely to the development of the maritime industry. One of such groups is the Ghana chapter of the Women in Maritime Africa, who, in collaboration with the Ministries of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Gender and Children and Transport, in July 2019, embarked on an outreach program at Akwanufi in the Isojaman district in Ghana, with focus on improving the lives of women and maximizing the wide range of benefits the Volta Lake presents to that area. The group donated, among other things, life jackets for the constituents of the fishing community. The Ghana chapter of Women's International Shipping and Trading Association has also been organizing women empowerment programs to encourage women in the industry not to give up the career path they have chosen. It is an undisputed fact that empowering women fuels thriving economies across the world, spurs growth and development, and benefits everyone working in the global maritime community in the drive towards safe, secure, clean, and sustainable shipping.
You need to let them understand that women can do it.
The Center for Maritime Training and Development for Younger Women has periodically been organizing career seminars where industry professionals are invited to impart knowledge in young women. This year, the Port Ladies Association of Ghana commended His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo for appointing the first female director of the biggest port in Ghana, the Tema Port. The president of PLAS, Philippa Amanda Ama, said the appointment is a feather in the cap for women in the maritime industry, and she believes that Sandra Opoku's appointment firms up the beginning of glorious days for women in the maritime industry.
When she succeeds, it is paving the way for many higher positions for women.
Sandra Opoku, a maritime lawyer and the first female director of the Tema Port, assured that she will work to pave way for other women to take up responsible positions within the industry.
We come together and we put our shoulders to the wheel so that another Sandra, another person will come and they will fill up all the positions in GPHA.
In Nigeria, Westa in that country raised funds to buy a fishing boat for the fisherwomen in the fishing community. Recently, the Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization visited Ghana and granted an interview to Iron Port, where he stressed the commitment of the IMO to the empowerment of women in the port and shipping industry.
We are trying to promote and raise awareness of the women's activities, participation sectors. So with different, by means of different the strategy, we are advertising. Second one, we are trying to provide more opportunity, training for women in maritime sectors, like World Maritime.
Okay, so I'm sure that you have gathered quite a lot about women who are working in that industry, the maritime industry. So we're coming into the studio now, and as I announced earlier, in the studio we have Madam Sylvia Asana Dauda Owu, the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Shippers Authority, and also the President of WIMORCA. WIMORCA, as I have learned, is Women in Maritime of Western Central Africa. Also in the studio is Madam Esther Jebidonko, General Manager, Marketing and Corporate Affairs, Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, and Madam Felicity Ankomase, Dean of the Faculty of Maritime Studies, the Regional Maritime University. And maybe I'm going to start with you, Madam Asana, because I learned that you're also the chairperson of the committee that is taking a look at the Maritime Week as well. What's happening? What do you have planned for this week?
Thank you, Sami. Let me say good evening to you, to my colleagues here, and then to the viewers out there. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here this evening. In fact, as you rightly said, the international is the link between us and the IMO.
Okay, that's the Ghana Maritime Authority.
The Ghana Maritime Authority.
So are there going to be specific programs that you are going to undertake within this week that people should, especially women, if they are interested, they can participate?
Yes, the focus is more on women this year. In fact, this whole year's theme for IMO has been empowering women. So this week-long celebration is meant to actually portray, exhibit the activities that we can have more women participation in. And for Ghana, we have a whole lineup of programs that we intend to participate in. One is a cleanup campaign by the beach, where we involve all the fisher folks. We have engaged most of them, and they are very enthusiastic about it, because if you want to talk about sustaining the ocean and life within the ocean, women play a key role in this, especially when you come to the beaches. So we think it is very important for us to involve them in a cleanup campaign, and also take advantage of that to sensitize them on the need to prevent pollution of the seas, So it's very important. And we also know that, yes, we need more women participation in the maritime sector, because from the look of things and from what we have listened to already, there is little participation of women within the maritime sector, even though we form 51% of the total population of the world. So we want to take advantage of this to actually bring together women in the second cycle institution, get people to talk to them, women who have excelled in these fields, to talk to them, to also get the opportunity to also let them know the various opportunities within the maritime sector, so that going forward, they can take on some of these opportunities as their career path, you know, as they move into the tertiary institution. So we think that is the way to go, and this is one of the things that we want to do. And we also have a parade that will be done by the Regional Maritime University students, a colorful parade. You know, these are among some of the things that we intend to do, and also have some engagement with our ladies within the industry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well, that's a very tall order, and I'm sure that we'll also be following it. But let me stick with you since you have started the conversation and find out how did you get to this point? How did you get to this position that you are now, Deputy Chief Executive of Ghana Shippers Authority, and you have worked quite a long time within the maritime space. If you share with us how long you've been there, how did you get there?
Yeah. In fact, when I'm asked how I got there, I tell them I got there just by chance, because I didn't know anything about the maritime sector. I was looking for a job. I had finished my national service, and I was looking for a job. I applied, and then I went in and I got it. You know? So in the beginning, it was all new to me, but with time I developed some interest in it, and I said to myself, this is where I want to develop my career. You know? So from there, I started studying. I had to go to the university to study more maritime courses. I had the opportunity to go for training, you know, short courses, my masters, and even personal development, because it's a whole new area at that time. That was, I must say, 26 years ago. You know, there were very few women.
Right after national service.
Right after national service. So there were very few women within the industry. And even when I joined the Ghana Shippers Authority, there were very few women. And I always joke that when I first joined, I was shown the washroom, and when I got there, it was a unisex. No, they didn't even have a washroom
for ladies,
you know. So it just, even though I laugh about it, it just tells you that at that time
they had not prepared for you.
They had not prepared. They had not prepared for women. But with time, you know, things have changed. I've had the opportunity of heading various departments, moving from Tema to Takoradi, back to Accra. You know, you should be prepared to move. I heard Esther talking about it on the TV, that you have to be prepared to move. When the opportunity comes, you need to take advantage.
To learn other areas as well.
At the time I was being posted to Takoradi. I had a 2-year-old son, and the choice was, should I stay and take care of my son in Accra in the comfort, you know, or to move to Takoradi? And that was the first time a woman had been posted out of Accra. You know, so my
out of your comfort zone.
Out of my comfort zone. My boss asked me, are you prepared to go? Go and think about it. And I said, yes, I would go.
Wow.
You know, even though I was scared, I said, oh, it's a new area. I have to meet people and things. But he was very reassuring. And I must say that today, I don't regret at all. I'm very happy where I am. And I'm happy that I chose that career in shipping.
We'll be talking about that a lot more and expanding it, because some people, when you post them, some would even resign. Okay, so Madam Esther, you equally have been in the port for that long. When I heard it the first time I came, I said, wow, about 26 years as well in the port. So how did you arrive at this point? What was the experience like? How did you get through all of this? Were you also being thrown around left, right, center?
Thank you very much, Sammy. Good evening to our viewers, and a special good evening to our colleague women from the maritime industry who may be watching us. We are with my university degree. I had to serve somewhere else for the second national service. But just as I was about to complete the service, that was when Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority was interested in promoting the transit trade. So then they national US.
Well, I also have similar backgrounds to my sisters out here, and it will interest you to know that we have met on various platforms throughout our career. I also got to Regional Maritime University, then the Regional Maritime Academy, about 26 years ago,
I see.
having completed a diploma program and we had completed a laboratory technician's course at the University of Cape Coast. In fact, I went there and was employed. I went there for national service first, and I was employed to man their electronics lab.
That's for RMU.
Yes, I was a technician there. Then there was a new computer laboratory. That was when computer had become, you know, the order of, I mean, there were new computers, new programs. We started learning computers. So we had a new computer lab, and I moved to man in the industry with them. So after that, I had the opportunity also to do my master's degree in maritime affairs. I also specialized in port management, and I came back to RMU, and I have been lecturing since then till now.
One of the things that looks like I have noticed running through most of your profiles and where you have trained is the University of the
World Maritime
University. You've all been there? Sweden, right? I see.
Of course, I went to Legon, but I didn't do shipping there. I did psychology with sociology.
I see.
That was my first.
That I'm thinking about. Apart from Madam Ankomase, who said that she began the diploma at the RMU, Madam mentioned economics from Cape Coast University, and then you mentioning psychology and sociology from the University of Ghana. Now, somebody may have started or just graduated from any of these universities, have studied something different and feel that I didn't go to what we used to call Nautica or the RMU now. So there's no opportunity. Madam Esther?
No.
Is that the case?
No, that's not the case. That's not the case. We that provide legal services. We have people who are customs administrators. We do have people who are freight forwarders. We have people who are ship agents, ship captains, and all those people, insurance brokers and all those. They are all part of our industry. So it is not necessary that you have that. It is rather when you come in that you need to upgrade your skills in those areas, because of course you need to understand the industry, so you will need to upgrade. But if you have the natural opportunity to enter the maritime university that we have here, RMU, from the beginning,
then you are lucky.
Then all the best for you, especially if you have the target of entering our industry. Then all the best for you. If not, take your degree in any of the subject areas that interest you, and then you come in, and then you have the training. And then
so for somebody who also doesn't have a degree, but has the passion, young lady, she has a lot of passion, probably has a diploma or HND from any of the polytechnics, what is also there? Maybe Madam Ankomase.
Yes, the RMU provides a wide bouquet of programs. In fact, our university is very unique in the sense that we provide even vocational training. We have programs for vocational, for the vocational level, right up to master's degree. So we have all categories of people entering the university from various backgrounds. And like Esther rightly said, you do not need to have a shipping background to excel in the industry. In fact, you would learn, one of the popular things they say about the industry is that it is a derived demand of trade, right? So
which means what?
For trade to be facilitated, you need the maritime industry. You need transport to move the trade. For industry to develop, you need maritime transport. And so you would have people in various disciplines who would definitely need some form of maritime transport to facilitate their jobs. So it is good to understand the industry so that when you are doing business in the industry which is sensitive to time, which is sensitive to maritime studies faculty. Yeah. We have 3 departments.
Okay.
We have, this was one of the departments which have stood the test of time. Still at the section, various safety courses to enable to work on board vessels.
Okay.
So these are the departments.
Okay.
Under that section.
Madam Esther, I asked about whether somebody can get into the port area with just a diploma or not even having that. Diploma is not even just, but not even having diploma, but they have the passion and they want to get inside. Such a person, what sort of advice would you give? I've been through Polytechnic, I only have HND, I don't have a degree. I didn't start off having a degree, economics and psychology. How do I still make way into this environment?
Of course, they can make their way into the environment. The maritime industry is just like any other industry, where academically you have the diploma and all those requirements, basic requirements that are needed to be able to take up specific roles or job descriptions in the organization. For example, if you have a diploma in mechanical engineering or whatever, I don't know, but you can come in so long as the job opportunity is there. You can come in, and then you do have people who are in the industry who are of administrative levels, and so those ones too, I mean, you can always come in to the various roles as and when need be. But what I have realized with my experience in the industry is the fact that most of these master's programs or programs, fellowships that we have out there, outside Ghana, would normally request you to have a degree to be able to further some of these education. So you can enter and then still upgrade yourself. Like I said earlier, you can enter and upgrade yourself. So it's not different. The requirements, the basic requirements are not different from all other industry as per the job specifics.
Okay. Okay. And then, Madam Asim, I think, I don't know if you want to bite on that, but once you do that as well, Madam talked about something that I always want to know. How true is it? And maybe that's also one of the reasons why women are not getting inside. That we hear that the maritime terrain is dangerous. Is it dangerous, in quote?
I think that yes.
So while you pick on some of the submissions, let me know whether this is a dangerous terrain for women. And if it is, how can we make it less dangerous for women?
Maybe when I finish adding down, you will realize that it is less dangerous. Okay. You know, of course, 26 years ago, it appeared, you know, the whole maritime sector appeared mysterious, sort of a mysterious, you know. But now, I think it's a myth, you know. You enter, I've seen people who have probably entered with HR degrees into the maritime sector, and they end up being maritime experts, you know. You enter, but once you are in the terrain, you realize that you begin developing an interest in the area. And people have come in with various degrees, basic degrees, and they end up studying maritime, and they are champs in the degree, your diploma, your degree, and even your masters locally. So it shouldn't be too much of a burden for somebody who has interest in the field to get the training locally. You know, you don't really need to go abroad. And once you are in the sector and you have the interest, you can get the training. Apart from that, we have various associations that have been set up, like the WISTA, like the WIMA, like the WIMOCA. These are all associations that if you are a member, you know, periodically we provide training programs, conferences that people can avail themselves to and learn things, you know, because the maritime sector is quite dynamic and things keep changing. So from time to time, it's important that we get involved in these operations, these seminars, and then develop ourselves as time goes on.
Okay.
But to the question.
The perception of danger.
Danger. I know.
But I think
Let me permit me to make myself clear.
Yes, please.
All right. So I did mention from the onset that the industry has two key areas. We have the offshore and the onshore. The offshore is the industry, it has to do with shipping itself, moving ships. Okay. And then the onshore are the ancillary businesses that are needed to support the ships. When the ships carry cargo, they move it across oceans, they move it across seas, you know, and that is an industry on its own. And then these other ones where you have so many women involved. If you look at the statistics that you showed, we had nautical science, we had marine engineering, and we had sales. Ships had to be rowed. Okay.
A lot of physical strength and all
yes. And goods were carried on and off the vessels at the backs of people. And many women didn't find that suitable. Okay. So that is how it was. But shipping has evolved. But it's still on the sea, the perils of the sea. So even with the developments in shipping, the new technology, that makes it easy and that makes it more friendly for women. You can have force majeure. That is, there could be perils of the sea that you are not, that come all of a sudden. Okay. And then if you are not well equipped to handle those perils, then lives can be lost, cargo can be lost, and so on and so forth. And that is why seafarers must be disciplined. That is why people see that industry as a difficult one. And indeed, those who go and come tell us that, well, there are some challenges. All right. You would even realize that how tedious the work is. Women may have to climb all sorts of monkey ladders and all those things. And it has been quite challenging. But there has been development. And now we are encouraging women because the technology has changed. We can look at the port industry as well. The same applies there. And you would find that there were quite a number of women in the port industry. Just as you rightly said, or we have all explained, you don't need to have a maritime background to be in the industry. For example, an accountant is an accountant. It doesn't matter where he's working. Civil engineers in port construction are civil engineers. You just have to understand where you are to work. So in the industry is so big, but they are core areas and have been dominated by men. Like I say, stevedoring or handling of cargo has been very, very physical. It is recently that you've had cranes and things well computerized. And I think this is time for women to take it up. We had the opportunity to travel the world, and we see in other parts of the world that gantry cranes are being manned by women.
I see.
Yes, because I think they are computer systems. You just need to, it's just like you are playing with the joystick.
The games, so it doesn't involve physical strength.
It doesn't involve physical strength. The technology is there. So women should, brave it and get into it. Okay, so it's a matter of letting them understand the changes. We've all had the mindset that the industry is so physical, and that is what puts women off. And we can't run away from the fact that women have been attached to their families. Sure, that is one of the main reasons why women have not been too interested in taking up those areas. But things have changed. And with some of the programs also, there had been the notion that, well, you may even start at a very, very young age, and that is what I recommend for most young ladies. Get into the industry early. Get all that you can get. In fact, if you really excel, if you get jobs, within a short time, you can, settle. Get into other areas. And one of the things that RMU does, to encourage this to make women comfortable is that with our programs, we introduce courses that can help them. We have the core courses that makes them able to work on the ships, but we've introduced other courses like marketing, like logistics, and so on and so forth. That will enable the ladies to divert into other career paths if they are fed up with the industry.
Do you have some career guidance and counseling there?
Definitely, we do have that.
And Andisa, what would you say are some of the challenges that are likely to confront ladies who intend to get into this industry? What did you experience, and what would you also do you think that if you are getting into this one you must know?
I think that we have one way or the other said some of them already. Yes, that perception of it's a male-dominated area, and so it's difficult for women. I mean, it's a whole challenge in itself. It puts the women off. But what I can say is that no, we have evolved, like my sisters have said, and our male colleagues are very warming. I mean, they are ready to work with us, and I believe that it is us, rather, the women, who should take up the challenge and be very responsible and make sure that when we are placed, we are able to deliver. That is one of them. Now, having said that, we still have this dual role of women that we need to be able to manage very well on the job. You have your career, your job, and then you have this traditional family business to take care of. And I can tell you, with myself, it's been a bit of a challenge. It's been a bit of a challenge, I must confess, because I put in so much into my work, time and everything, especially when I went to the core area, which is operations. You are at the terminal level, and you need to, sometimes you go to the port in the night. Honestly, you have to be there because your team is discharging the vessels. You have to be there sometimes, just so your staff knows that the manager can come around anytime. Of course, when your male colleague was there, he's able to go there to ensure that there is supervision. So you have to go there. I remember in the early days of my Terminal 1, I will plead with my husband to take me in the night to the place, and then you imagine, you get out to go to the ship side to supervise, and then he is in the car waiting for you. All of those kind of sacrifice.
Family support.
Yes, so it is very real, and you need to be able to balance both. You need to be able to balance both. Whereas you are being responsible at home, you have to do a lot of sacrifice to be able to get very committed to your work, and then make sure that you deliver as expected of you. Because obviously, if you take that kind of angle, you know that men, as usual, they can work whatever hours, and then the women are supposed to be taking care of their family. So that is also there that we should be aware of, and then you try to balance both so that you don't give these excuses to leave your job, and then you expect that when a very responsible position is there, it is given to you. Obviously, I mean, it will not be a discrimination, but it will be that you cannot deliver. That is what it is, because now we have grown past discrimination against women in the industry. We have, been given some opportunity to also be able to thrive. But I also believe that there is the need for us to transform the organizational culture. For example, again, because you have asked me to use my own experience, sometimes you, as a woman, you were trying to, you know, do what the men are also doing, and then along the line they see you in some light and they give you some names. Sometimes, you know, some of the names are welcoming, but it is the way they put it. The way they put it. For example, sometimes I recall when I was at the operational area, sometimes they will call me Yasatwa. You know, that kind of thing. You know, and the way they say it, yes, Yasatwa is a great. Yes, but the way they say it, as if you are a woman and you are trying to do what the men do and all that. So some kind of transformation in our organizational culture is also needed, so that everybody will appreciate that all these submissions women are making about equality is not for the fact that we just want everything to be given to us on silver platter, but then we just want them to give us equal opportunities so that we can also bring out the best that God has deposited in us to play.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the, sorry, you want.
Yeah, I really also wanted to mention another challenge that sometimes the women face on the job. It's not only the maritime industry, and I'm sure people may not like it much, but I still have to say it. It's sexual harassment. It's sexual harassment, you know. Some of the young ones that are coming do have these complaints that, you know, they get harassment all over the place, and it puts them off. It puts them off. Some of them are demotivated and that kind of thing. So, you know, so that we are able to, like I said earlier, you have to be able to balance the home thing and the job and your career, so that if you have exposure, if the young ones coming have a lot of exposure in these areas, they will be able to balance both.
Okay, and the UN Development Goals, for instance, the Goal 5, talks a lot about the gender equality thing, and maybe Madam Hassan, as Antiesta talks about the sexual harassment, national level, because this is not peculiar to just one sector, which is maritime. At the national level, what do you think is needed to ensure that this vision of the IMO to celebrate women within the sector and also grow them can be achieved if some of these challenges are still around there? And then she talked about the cultural issue as well.
Yeah, you're right. You know, the issues you have raised are quite real, and a lot of women are going through that. And of course, I know various institutions are putting in place policies, mechanisms to, as it were, encourage more women participation within the industry. For instance, if I take the Ghana Shippers Authority as an example, 20 years ago, you know, conscious efforts have been made to train more women and to bring on board more women. That was started 20 years ago under the leadership of the previous CEO, Dr. Kofi Mbia. Consciously made effort to bring in more women, to train more women. Most of our ladies have been trained either at the World Maritime University or the International Maritime of Law Institute at Malta. You know, and there's a program, a deliberate scheme to train and to bring on board more women. And when it comes to employment, we do not discriminate. As long as you deliver at the interview level, you are taken. So, yes. And even when it comes to opportunities to head various departments, the same thing applies. So I can say that in our organization, a lot is being done. But nationwide, I think we need a policy that will guide how we need to operate and how women can be encouraged to be more participatory in the maritime sector. So that is where we need to look at. You know, I know IMO is doing a lot with women empowerment, encouraging, coming out with scholarship schemes to train women in the World Maritime Universities, even training of women, sponsorship and all that. But as a country, we need to have a clear policy as to how we can have women inclusiveness within the maritime sector, and also train them, you know, capacity building among these women, and all this issue of harassment, so that a woman will not think that I need to offer myself to somebody before you get an opportunity to get studies or to even get promoted. If the policy is very clear and you enter, you know that yes, this is what I need to do, and then once I deserve it, I should take it.
And how do we get this policy? What, for instance, can the Shippers Authority be doing, or the Port and Harbors Authority, or the Regional Maritime University be doing, or maybe the various women groups like WIMOCA, WISTA, and WIMA and Co. be doing to push for this kind of policy?
Good. I think to start with, IMO for this year has made it a year, the theme, empowerment of women within the maritime sector.
That's a good start.
That is a very good start. So all the countries, member countries and the IMO know that this is the way to go. And it comes down to the national level. Of course, if the Ghana Maritime Authority is championing it, it's the ministry that is championing it. And I can tell that our ministry has been very involved in most of the maritime-related activities in this country that actually have some bearings on women activity. We had a WISTA celebration, and our minister was actively involved. Anything to do with women this year has been promoted and enhanced, and your organization is also doing it. In fact, this platform that you have given us is very good, and I think we should have more of such platforms. You know, we should continue to encourage the women, which we are doing. Like I mentioned earlier, we are going to meet the young ones in the second cycle institution to let them know that yes, there exist a lot of opportunities within the maritime sector. They should focus some attention there. They should develop career objectives there and then pursue their, most of them probably do not know, but now we should go out and talk about it. That is why the associations that we have, WIMOCA, WISTA, I think they are doing quite a lot. Mentoring, mentorship, we are on it. Esther, we are all on it, and we are letting the young ones know that yes. So until we have more women participating, some of these problems will continue to exist. And you know very well that women form 50% of the world population. And for us to achieve any sustainable development goal, we need to have more women involved. Yeah.
And even though that's what you have just said, I'm surprised that the men are taking over the text messaging. I was expecting that if we have about 51% of women dominating, why are the men taking over the SMS now? But no problem, you can still send them, because I've seen quite a number of you sending. The men are taking over, but the ladies as well. Those that I'm reading, I'm going to share them with the panel and also share them with the rest of the world. All the messages are welcome. You can also call us if you are interested in the subject, how to get into the maritime space, particularly if you're a lady. Today is your day. The number that you can WhatsApp us on is 055-901-9177. 055-901-9177. I think it should be on the screen by now. And then also 020-552-8353. That's the number you can call. So I'm seeing you calling the WhatsApp line instead. Please don't call the WhatsApp line. Call the phone line. 020-552-8353 on your screen.
Permit me to contribute.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk also about the RMU where I am, and I want to talk about staff involvement. You know, we are a training institution, and we are not different from any university. So, personally, I do not see discrimination when it comes to teaching staff. Indeed, we have well-seasoned ladies providing professional training, ladies who have excelled in their fields, ladies who have captained ships. Who can intimidate a captain?
Yeah.
You just can't. And then you have people of equal ranks. I mean, if the man has a master's, the woman has a master's. It has a PhD, the woman has a PhD.
And sometimes have better grades.
Yes. So we occupy positions based on merit.
Yeah.
And that is one of the things I think we should encourage women. If women have become doctors, they study to become doctors. If women want to be in the industry, they shouldn't be looking for special favors. We can excel.
Apply
occupy.
normally and
Yes.
you should get through.
And all our programs are open to women. We have women training welders. We have women marine engineers. We have a lot of women. You know, if you go into the fishing industry, we have women who own canoes. We have women who own fishing nets. We have women who supply ice, you know, for the industry to go. So we should go there also. You know, we always looking towards the port. But the industry is so wide and with various opportunities. You know, Norway, for example, has...
Sorry, I have to interject, and because initially I had a man on the line, Abdallah from Tamale. Abdallah, I punished you small for staying on because the women too were calling. Gertrude is now calling from, Gertrude is calling from where? Medina. Let me pick her and then I'll get back to you. Hello, Gertrude.
Hello?
Yes, Gertrude. Okay. While we
yeah, hello.
Hello, Gertrude. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Please, my question is, what is Regional Maritime doing to help students get jobs in the industry of medicine?
Sorry, you're not too clear, Gertrude. If you can. Okay, withdraw. Maritime University helping their students in getting jobs in the maritime field after school. So we will be taking all of that. Who do I have on the line now? Hello, Freddie. Hello, Freddie. Okay, drop the line. So the maritime industry has various departments and port operations and management, though challenging, can be made attractive with minimized accident. The danger is the sea transport, where the peril of the sea being rough, such as climate change in typhoon and sudden bad weather. Congratulations to the ladies who are with you there. They are doing wonderfully well. Sorry, my name is Austin Game. Okay, so, sorry? Veronica from Swedroad. Good evening. Hello?
Right. Hello?
Hello, Veronica.
Yeah, am I on?
Yes, you are.
Right. I want to say that I would say kudos to our mothers on a panel. I'm really inspired by right now. But one thing I want to put across, especially in the area of the sexual harassment, it's something that cuts across all sectors.
Okay.
But one thing I've also noticed, most of the girls already offer themselves because they feel that it would be an opportunity for them to grasp one position or the other. Yeah. So as much as they are making, they are conscientizing us on this issue, our young ladies should also be advised because they create some sort of competition for those of us who really want to come clean.
Yeah. Good.
You understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you, Veronica.
So, I believe that policies must be enforced in their areas of operations to encourage those who really want to come out clean and then do what we have to do for these, in these industries.
Great point, Veronica. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay, so, Madam, you end your point and then we'll pick on some of the issues that have been raised. Quite a number already are also mindful.
Well, so like I was saying, the industry is so broad and it appears as if most of us, our concentration is on the ports.
But the fishing and other areas can be used.
It's so broad, you know, and that should be some of the questions that should answer one of the questions that came. You know, students, most of them are looking at
getting jobs after graduating.
Those places, but we give them such a wide, broad
knowledge to go and explore out there
to be able to explore various opportunities. You know, we need support from, you know, government, from industries
to absorb
help.
Some of
yes, to help.
Okay, let me pick Lillian. Lillian is calling from Tishing. Hello, Lillian.
Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, before I say anything, I want to say hello to my madam.
Okay.
Madam Felicity, sorry.
Madam Felicity, good.
Yes.
Did she teach
you? Auntie Esther.
Did she teach you?
Say, I really appreciate them a lot. I'm a student of Maritime University.
Oh, okay, nice.
And I really, yes, I really want to say that I really enjoy the Maritime.
Okay, unfortunately, we lost. And as I said, you had wanted to say something before I even started announcing this, and then you can take some of the issues that have been raised as well.
Yeah, I also wanted to make a comment on the national policy issue that my sister raised. I believe that there are a few areas that is encouraging, and if we put it into a policy framework, will be better off. I'm aware that our, our industry basically falls under the transport ministry, and I'm aware that there is a transport policy that is being drafted, and probably this is the time that we should take a look. So, and that is so it gives one woman from the industry to be on their board. I'm sure RMU, I'm sure they also have a system where probably the requirements for admitting the women may be a bit relaxed from my sister is here.
No,
I don't know.
that is not possible, because like every other degree or diploma course, we have to meet the National Accreditation Board requirements. So the basic qualifications
is what you require. Gertrude is calling us from Medina. Let me take off. Hello, Gertrude. Hello, Gertrude. Hello. Oh, yes, hello, Gertrude. We can hear you. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Madam Felicity said something about the industry being both, and that students from Maritime University taught different courses that they can work in other fields, not just the Maritime University.
Yeah.
But then my question is, when you graduate from the regional Maritime University, everybody is essentially to work in the maritime field. You can't graduate from the regional Maritime University and work in the first sector.
Okay.
Because first sector is seeking students who are studying natural resources.
Is that really the case?
So that need studying course and student administration. So get a better chance in working in the maritime field.
Yeah.
Than a student who did maybe at least in Lagos.
Yeah. Coming to occupy your space.
Working in the maritime industry.
Okay.
So what is the regional maritime university doing to help students? Because I went to regional maritime university and I graduated in 2014.
Okay.
I went there with the knowledge that, maybe after school, I want to work in the maritime industry. But then after school, I found myself looking for a job, and I'm not even getting a job in the maritime industry. Meanwhile, I did sports nutrition. So where can I work with my sports nutrition
certificate? I understand. Okay, Gertrude, your point very well made. Because of time, I would have to drop you. But I'm sure we've understood you very clearly. Somebody does banking and they're able to penetrate into this, the other areas. She does shipping and nobody at banking is ready to take them. But before you take on that, and I will let you respond to that because that's important. But a few messages, I'll read them quickly so that we can add them to. This one says that you are really all the ladies there are really lucky. You are working in a very noble institution. You have no idea where some of us teachers are posted to. Okay. Okay. This one says, good evening. In fact, I don't think the Madam at the far right answered the question on danger associated with the job. I'm sure you're referring to Mrs. Felicity. Please pass the same question to them again, and on your next program, please invite male sailor to educate us on dangers. We will try to do something for males as well. But this week, the entire week, IMO, it's not me, IMO has dedicated to women. That's why, not that alone, not just because IMO has done it, but we also feel that it's important we celebrate the women who are within this industry. Dennis is on the line, but before I pick you, Dennis, good evening, Iron Port. Can you kindly advise the minimum entry requirement to be admitted into the Regional Maritime University? That's coming from Reggie. Good evening, Iron Port. I enjoy watching your program. I am a lady who entered the maritime industry right after secondary at a 6 months diploma in shipping from Kumasi. Lack of funds. I was offered to study port and shipping administration. It was in dollars, so I couldn't pay. Maritime Unity did not have evening program by then. Over the past 10 years, in the freight forwarding sector, I learned and applied new technologies on the job and had my first degree in BSc Administration 2016. In addition, I completed a chartered program that is DELT UK last year at the Regional Maritime University. So yes, I agree with Madam Esther and her colleagues. You can upgrade, but after the upgrade, you feel underutilized, especially with freight forwarding sector, and most clearing companies do not appreciate professional staff. I would welcome an opportunity with a key stakeholder organization. My goal is to be a maritime lawyer. Is there such program at the Regional Maritime University? We will answer that as well. More grease to the elbows of our women. Mr. Host, please kindly send me the WhatsApp line of the, okay, it's a different one. Okay, who do we have on the line now? What opportunity do I have in the industry with Fiata Diploma with GIF? That is Mawud Dufia from Tema. Who do we have on the line? I think Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Don't say I'm punishing you because you're a guy, but we're ready to listen to you now. Hello, Dennis.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Dennis.
I think that the question should be what many of the students would like to call, and most of their questions, they don't have opportunities to work in maritime-related areas, like Ghana Port and Harbour and State Authority, Ghana Maritime Authority.
Okay.
I think the question should not be directed to the SBC and Puma. It should rather be directed to the stakeholders who are there, especially the executive executives and my other sister who is working at Ghana Port and Harbour.
Okay.
And that is what we are doing.
Okay.
Because you train people to run the maritime industry. But at the end of the day, somebody who achieves a program like history or classical history, they go find herself or himself, occupying a maritime sensitive area. Okay. How can you grow in that? Because you're putting square goals on round.
Thank you.
So for me, the question should not be directed to the lecturer, because the lecturer only places them out.
Yeah, but those who are creating the job opportunities.
And the people who are the people who interview them are the people stakeholders who are just sitting over there.
Okay.
And again, too, we must also be very serious with the maritime industry, for instance. Stakeholders who are supposed to contribute to the welfare of Ghana and Regional Maritime University are not forthcoming. And so, how will you be able to subsidize training for them when the institution itself is currently finding difficulty in running affairs of the institutions of finance? So it's very difficult for even encourage them. They come to school and pay the same fees to the mates.
Okay.
So today, once we are now marking on the celebrating women's role in the blue economy, especially the maritime, we have to find a way to support the industry.
Okay.
Especially supporting the institution.
Okay. Thank you,
because
Dennis.
It's the institution that trains out the human resource.
Thank you, Dennis. Your point well made. Now, this one says, hello, Sami, good evening. I am passionate about the industry. And we'll pick Dennis' question as well. We'll get responses for all the your comments through the calls and then the messages. Hello, Sami, good evening. I am passionate about the industry. What are the procedures to enter that industry as the system now becomes whom you know? I hold BSc Banking and Finance and Investment Certificate from Stock Exchange. What should I do? Nicholas from O. This one says, awesome program. My name is Peter Alu, Customs Officer who retired in 2017. I do not know the third lady. The third, so it depends on where you are counting from. But I worked with Madam Asana at the Shippers Committee and Esther at Golden Jubilee. I can vouch for these two ladies, and any day of their capabilities and their contribution towards the blue economy. All of them need to be celebrated. That is coming from this Peter. Nana from Santa Maria. Hello, Nana. Santa Maria. Santa. Okay, Nana.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Nana.
Yes, and it's really refreshing listening to economists, and I would like to throw a light on the economy issue. I think we've been talking about maritime, but with the blue economy, there are other various sectors, renewable energy, waste management, and other areas. And I would like to suggest that we drive investment in other areas so that we can create employment opportunities, because blue economy has a lot of opportunities.
Yeah.
And if we streamline ourselves just from the maritime transport and other areas, I think we are looking out on the fisheries, the renewables, and also the waste management, and also in climate change opportunities. There are a lot of opportunities there which we can drive investment, which can create
Good point.
job opportunities for our youth as well.
Okay, good point, Nana. Thank you very much. This one says, I happen to be taught by Mrs. Ankoma Say and worked under Madam Esther. They are the best in the world. And as a young guy, Madam Esther has been my mentor coming from the Tema as well. Madam Esther, and Madam Ankoma Say, that's coming for you. This one reads, I graduated from RMU this year as a marine engineer. It will interest you to know that most graduate students from RMU find it difficult even getting to do their national service at the port because of protocol. A friend of mine currently doing his service at the Takoradi port with a nautical science background has to go through hell before his national service letter was endorsed. So basically this issue about, I have done a specific course within this industry, I am a lady, I'm hoping to get opportunity within the industry, yet I'm not getting. And then they are bringing Samuel Ajiman from Economics Department at Legon to come and work at the port industry. It also takes me to this whole question, and I have always cringed when I hear people say, you have studied this, you must do that. Whatever you study, you go and do it. Is that really the case? And so people sort of sometimes chastise classics at the universities. Do you have to study at the university and go back and do whatever you studied, archaeology or classics or music or philosophy? Or you can do maritime university programs and still be open to other areas?
Thank you. Let me try and answer this. In fact, RMU
Madam, they have pushed me to let you pause a little while I take Elom, and then when we are responding to Elom, you start with this. Hello, Elom, from Dawena.
Hello.
Hello, Elom.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead.
I'm calling from Dawena.
Please go ahead.
Actually, I want to talk in connection with the Regional Maritime University.
Okay.
I was also a past student of Regional Maritime University. I completed in 2008.
Okay.
And what like the other people who called were complaining about is kind of true. It's very difficult to get jobs in the industry.
Okay.
In fact, sometimes now I'm a freight forwarder. You go to so many of the shipping lines, the couple and all that, and our seniors, you don't really see them. If you don't see them, like they don't get the opportunity to work there. So sometimes they have to divert to other industries, they have to go and do other courses and go. So if only the Regional Maritime University can do something, have maybe MOU with the stakeholders that maybe this percentage of their students to be admitted,
absorbed.
something that will help the students. Now when they come out, they can get jobs.
Okay.
So that we can also be happy we've been there with $8 today.
Thank you, Elom. You pay dollars and you need to earn dollars back.
Yeah, indeed, Elom is right, and we do that.
Okay.
In fact, I must say that currently RMU has MOUs with quite a number of industries.
Like?
For example, we partner with a shipping company called Benashut. It's a German shipping line. And we have MOUs with Modec and other companies so that they absorb graduates from our institution. It's very true that we have quite a number of them also at home who probably may not have gotten jobs yet. I don't see this any difference between with this and the unemployment situation in the country. Okay. I must say that we have people who have graduated, and we have people coming from industry coming on the graduation day, even to absorb them.
Okay.
Yeah, so some have had the opportunities, okay. Some have gotten jobs, and they continues to help move their country.
But the Ghana Ship don't.
Okay.
We just send the request that we need
because of
the nature. But we often get balanced number. If we look at the list that we've been getting, it's oftentimes very balanced, you know. So we always request for people from the Maritime University. Okay. And in recent times, the employment that we have made, I can tell you the majority of them are students with the
okay.
With
let me pick Kate before I come to Madam. Yeah. Kate is calling from Kumasi, is it? Hello, Kate. Do we have Kate on the line still? Hello, Kate.
Hello. Mean that people who did psychology should go to their field and to maritime course, and he doesn't find himself in the maritime industry.